Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial by ZebraCode. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to download and install PostgreSQL. As at the time of doing this video, PostgreSQL 17 is the latest version. In the process of this video, we will download and install PostgreSQL. We will also learn how to use the PgAdmin management tools for PostgreSQL to create a database and a table. But before we do that, let's quickly take a look at what PostgreSQL is. PostgreSQL is the world's most advanced open source relational database tool. PostgreSQL is a powerful open source object relational database tool with a strong reputation for reliability, feature robustness, and performance. It is highly maintained and very actively developed. This message is from their official website, www.postgresql.org. There are some key facts we need to understand about PostgreSQL. It uses and extends the SQL language with many features. As for its origin, it dates back to 1986. when it was started as part of a project at the University of California, Berkeley. It supports all major operating systems, including Linux, Mac, Windows. It can be used with different programming languages. As at the time of doing this video, the current version of PostgreSQL is the version 17. In terms of using PostgreSQL, there are different ways we can use it. We can use it through graphical user interface, that is through GUI, and we can also use it through the command line interface, in other words, through the CLI. What about downloading PostgreSQL? To download it, you can do a Google search for PostgreSQL or go to any of these links here. We can download it from their official website, that is the PostgreSQL.org website, or through EDB, that is the enterprisedatabase.com website. I will put these links in the description area of this video. Once again, you can download it by doing a Google search for PostgreSQL download. But for me, I will follow this link to their official website to download it. By following the link in the previous slide, I am now on their official website. It shows here the different operating systems that we can use with PostgreSQL. I am on Windows platform and I will click on this. And this page will open. When you scroll down on this page, it shows the different versions of PostgreSQL that have been released. They have not updated their web page, so it still shows here 16. Maybe by the time you would be watching this video, they would have updated their website to reflect 17 here. Now let me scroll up a bit. Now to download it from this page, click on the download the installer link here, and this page will open. If you want to do a Google search to get to this page, you can quickly open a web browser and go to google.com. Here type in PostgreSQL download, and you will get a similar page to this. Click on the first link here which says download PostgreSQL, and it will take you to the same page that we saw by following that link in my previous slide. You can follow this link like we did before, but now we'll go back to this page. And here it says download PostgreSQL. These are the different operating systems that we can install PostgreSQL on. I am on the Windows platform, so I will click on this link to download it. Now it is downloading. If your download does not start automatically, here it says you can click on this link for it to download if it does not start in a few seconds. Great. the download process is complete. Now I will go to where it was downloaded to on my computer. I will click show in folder. Great, it was downloaded to my downloads folder. Find out where yours was downloaded to. It is likely going to be in your downloads folder as well. It is an executable file, that is a .exe file. So I'm going to double click on it now to install it. If you get a Windows security message, click yes. Great. Now this setup wizard page will open. Now click next. And here it shows the installation directory. In my case, it shows that it will install it on my C drive, program files, PostgreSQL, then /17, which is the version of it. If you want to change the location, you can change the directory from here. But in my case, I won't change it. I will leave it as it is by default. Now we click next. Here it shows the components that will be installed: PostgreSQL Server, PgAdmin4, Stack Builder, and Command Line 2. Leave it as it is by default and click next. Now it shows where the data directory will be installed. It is in the same location. I will click next. On this page, it will ask you to enter a password for the Postgres database super user. I will enter my password and retype password. Please remember your password because you will need it later. I will click next. Now it shows the port that the server will listen on. It is 5432. Leave it as it is unless you have a reason to change it, and click next. Here it will ask you to select the locale to be used by the new database cluster. Just leave it as it is by default and click next. It shows here the settings that will be used for the installation. Leave it as it is by default and click next. Here it says PostgreSQL is ready to be installed on your computer. Click next. Now it is installing. This process will take some minutes. Be patient. Great. Now the setup wizard has completed the installation process. We can click finish. But before we do that, let's look at this message here. It says launch Stack Builder at exit, and this box is ticked. If you untick it and click finish, Stack Builder will not be launched at exit. But I'm going to tick it and leave it as it is. When we click finish now the Stack Builder is launched. And it says here to begin, please select the installation you are installing software from the list below. Your computer may be connected to the internet before proceeding. I am just going to show you what this is about, and I will cancel this one because the installation has already been completed. I will click here, then click this one here. If I click next here, it shows the applications that you could install with it. There are different categories here. If I click on add-ons, this one is what it shows. Now I will collapse it. If I expand this one, here it shows the database drivers. And here for the server, it shows different versions. That's from version 12 to version 17. And here it says version 17 is installed. I will collapse this. Now if I expand this, it shows this one, and if I expand it, it shows different enterprise tools here. I will close this. Now we close this. Now for the special extensions, if I click on this one, here it shows the PostgreSQL bundle for PostgreSQL 17. I'm going to take it, and if you are into web development, you click on this one. It shows you the application options here. I will close this one as well. So this was just to demonstrate to you some applications that we can install with the Stack Builder. Now I'm going to cancel this. Are you sure you want to close the Stack Builder wizard? Yes. Now we are done with our PostgreSQL installation. I'm going to close this. I will close this, and I will close this. Now, to launch PostgreSQL, let's go to the search area of our application. Go to the Start menu. Now I will scroll down to letter P. Exactly. Here I have PostgreSQL 17 installed. If I expand it here, it shows all the applications that were installed. Application Stack Builder. This is installation node. PgAdmin4. Then the SQL shell. That is for PSQL. But for now, let's use PgAdmin4. I will click on this to launch it. Now, the PgAdmin management tools for PostgreSQL is loading. Great. Now it has loaded the PgAdmin management tools for PostgreSQL. Let me maximize this. This is how it looks. Now, to create a database, we need to work with servers. You can click on this one here. Now, this pop-up message page will open. To connect to server, it requires you to enter your password. Remember the password you used when you were installing it? That is what you will use here. We'll click Save Password and click OK. Now we are in the PgAdmin dashboard area. If you click on database here, it shows Postgres. We've got one database so far, which is this Postgres. And to create a database, right click on it here and create database. Here, let's give our database a name. I will call it students. So the name of my database is students, and now I will click save. Exactly. Now it shows two for databases. The first one is the Postgres database that came with it by default, and the second one is the one that we have just created, which is for students. All right, now that we have a database, we can create a table inside our database. There are different ways to do that. For example, we can click here on the Tools menu and invoke the Query tool to run our SQL query to create a table. Another way to do it is to click on the database and expand it. But before that, let me quickly collapse this first database so that we have this database we are going to be working with, the students database. Now with the students database selected, click on this icon here that says schemas to expand it. And let me move this one up a bit. This time, click on this icon here that says tables. You can right click on it and click on create table, or scroll down to this icon that says query tool to expand it. So you can click on this query tool here, or click on it here, query tool. I will click on it here. Great. Now the query window is open and it shows our students database here. So I am going to run the SQL query here. The first one I will do is to create a table. I will call the table degree students. We can use uppercase here or lowercase, but I will use uppercase for the keywords or reserved words. Create table if not exists. Now the name of the table, degree students. See here, student underscore ID is of data type int, comma, First name is of data type voucher. That will be 25 long, comma, last name, voucher, also 25, course, voucher, I'll put 100 for that. Now, semicolon. So the query here is create table if not exist, degree students. Then these are the columns for our table. Student ID, subdata type int, first name, subdata type voucher, and is going to be 25. And last name, also voucher, 25. Course, voucher, 100. Now, let's run this query. To run the query, click here, execute query, or press Alt plus S5. I will click on this one. Continue. Great. It says here, create table, query returned successfully. Now I am going to enter data into the table. The query will be insert into the name of the table, degree, students, values. I'll move this one to the next line, 240099, comma, single quote, Andy, comma, single quote, Williams, comma, single quote. What is he studying? He's studying physics, comma, I'm going to add a few more, 238184, single quote. Ayla, that's for the first name, single quote, Jones for the last name, single quote. What is she studying? Computer science, comma, enter another one, 227651, comma, single quote. Dave for the first name, single quote. Emeka for the second name, single quote. What is he studying? Cybersecurity, comma, enter one more, 205973, comma, single quote. Hassan, first name, single quote. Mohammed, comma, single quote. What is he studying? Geography. Now I'll add a semicolon to it. Now I'm going to execute this query. Continue. Exactly. It says insert 04, query returned successfully. Now we have 4 rows in our table. Now let's view the content of our table. But before that, I'm going to comment these ones out because we don't need this one anymore. Select it and press Ctrl plus /. Ctrl plus / on your keyboard will turn everything into a comment. Now let's query our table. Select star from where? From our degree students table. Semicolon. The query is select star from degree students table. That is, select everything from the degree students table. Now I am going to execute the query. Click on this. Continue. Exactly. Here it shows the results of the content of the table. Andy Williams, Ella Jones, Dave Emeka, Hassan Mohammed, and these are the courses they are studying. So this is how you create a database, create a table, insert data into a table, and view the content of a table in PostgreSQL. This video was to show you how to install PostgreSQL and use the PgAdmin to create a database, create a table, insert data into a table, and select the content of a table. We can also do this through the command line. I will show you that in my next video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye for now.